What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Frequency 140 Movie Channel. And this week, we're finally getting past the big three. This is the last one. We did Halloween, we did Nightmare on Elm Street, and you know what's coming next. It's Friday the 13th. So, there's a lot of movies in this franchise, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get this kind of going so it's not like an 85-minute video. All right, so I got it put up into 5 categories, as you can see, and it's favorite things you want to cook by the campfire. S'mores being the best. Then you got hot dogs, which is classic. And we got stew, which is pretty good. And then we got canned beans, which, we're kind of going towards the end of the road here. Then we got squirrel. So if you're eating squirrel, I don't know what you've done with your life, but it's gone south. All right, so let's get this started. Now, Friday the 13th, Part 1. Now, I will say, usually in the Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween's franchise, the first one's always the best. Well, not in this one. I'm actually going to put this in stew. And here's the reason why. Is that this film's very much set up as like a whodunit movie, kind of like, how Scream would be or something like that. So you're trying to figure out who the killer is. Well, when the reveal happens, it's a killer who's only in the movie for like really a runtime of 5 minutes. And to have a really good whodunit movie, I think you need a little bit more screen time to these people. So that way, when the reveal actually happens, it's a surprise. It's good. And this movie misses the mark on that. I will say this is considered a classic. I mean, this is probably horror movie sacrilege is what I'm committing right here. But that's just how I feel about it. I don't think there's really too much in here that's really that great. If I had to say something else that was good about it though, would be, the makeup effects in this are brilliant. I'll give it that. But as overall in this franchise, I'm actually, like I said, I'm sticking it right in the middle. So that goes on to part 2. And part 2, I have a special place in my heart because I love Sackhead Jason. In fact, that was one of my favorite things about the remake. They had Potato Sackhead Jason. And this one I thought was a lot better done because we all know who the killer is right now. The cast is good, the kids are cool, the kills are neat. The iconic one with the wheelchair and the stairs, that will never get old to me. And this movie is really, really good. And I think it's a very solid sequel. So I'm going to put this one in hot dogs. Now, Friday the 13th Part 3, this is another one I think where people are going to come after me with pitchforks and, torches. I'm not that big of a fan of this movie. I think a lot of it's very slow paced. It's very boring to me, to be quite honest. And I understand that we get the iconic hockey mask in here, but I find none of the cast interesting whatsoever. And if I had to pick something good to say about it, I would say that, we get a good portrayal of Jason in this one. I think he is one of the stronger ones that we have. Now, I'm not really a big fan of the whole kills and stuff like that. I mean, there's a classic one with the, the arrow and all that stuff, but which is great, but I can't really give anything else past that. And for that, I'm actually going to put this one in can of beans, and I'm sure that probably makes a few people mad out there, but you tell me what you think is great about this movie in the comment section, and we'll have that debate. I'm looking forward to it. Now we go on to part 4, the final chapter, it says, which is complete horseshit. But the good news is, ladies and gentlemen, this movie is not horseshit. It is fantastic. In fact, I think this is the best Friday the 13th film ever. Like, it's perfect. It rolls up all the stories. The cast of kids are great in here. You got Crispin Glover. You got Corey Feldman playing an odd little kid that's also supposed to be kind of Tom Savini, who likes to do horror makeup. And I like the whole dynamic with the brother and sister, with Tommy Jarvis and his sister. I think Jason is played fantastically in this one. He's very brooding and just menacing looking. And the makeup effects, Tom Savini is an absolute wizard. Like that effect with the head going down the machete, that will never leave my brain ever. This is a 10 out of 10 as far as the Friday the 13th franchise is concerned for me. Now we're on to part 5, and to squirrel it goes. And now, okay, so like Halloween 3, there's been a lot of love given to this movie, and again, just like I said about Halloween 3, I'm not that guy. It sucked then, it sucks now. And here's why. I hate the beginning. I thought it was really stupid because in the beginning, a psychotic kid, Butcher, a very annoying character out of nowhere. And later on in the film, you find out that the EMT that comes to get the body of this kid is actually the kid's father. My question is, has he never showed a picture of his kid to any of his friends? I mean, why didn't he flip out? You know, it's his kid, for God's sakes. I just don't understand how no one knew this in the whole entire time. And then we get to the actual film and we bring back Tommy Jarvis, probably the most annoying version of Tommy Jarvis in this one because he's just, oh God, it's insufferable. He's just a weak guy, and I didn't want to see that in him. And the rest of the cast of the characters are completely forgettable. And the little kid is so annoying. Oh my God, the high pitched screams. I remember it. And then you're willing to get past all that bullshit in the middle, you get the crap ending, which is basically, like I said, it was the EMT guy. He had the hockey mask and he was trying to be Jason and like trying to get revenge for his kid being murdered, and which, I mean, fair enough, but God, they went the wrong direction on this one. Like, stay far away from this movie. Now we're on to Jason Lives, man. Friday the 13th Part 6, man. The man behind the mask. As silly and stupid as it is, I enjoy the hell out of this. I love the aspect of the Universal Monsters type deal where, you know, Jason gets resurrected by lightning. And he comes back as like super zombie Jason, and like, so it makes a lot of things fun. I love the look of Jason. The kills in this movie are funny as hell. My favorite, well, I don't know if it's my favorite version of Tommy. It's between this one and Corey Feldman, but I love Tommy Jarvis in this film. This is what I wanted in part 5, but we did not get it. I loved his love interest in the film, sheriff's daughter. And of course, he don't want anything to do with it. Of course, they don't believe him. But, you know, Jason actually is going through killing all these people. And one of the best scenes ever in a horror movie to me, as silly and stupid as it is, I love the paintball scene where Jason puts the dude's face into the tree, and when he lifts it back out, there's a smiley face on it. That is sheer brilliance. Again, I love the ending. It just from front to back. I love this movie. Please go check it out. It's well worth your time. Now we go on to part 7, which to me is basically Carrie versus Jason. You have a young lady with telekinetic powers who is trying to resurrect her dad from like some kind of traumatic experience from her past. When she goes to the lake, she actually accidentally resurrects Jason. Whatever. You know, we're in horseshit territory land now at this point. But I actually kind of like it. Like, it's kind of a fun movie. Plus, we get probably the best looking Jason ever. I loved the makeup on this one. Like, you get to see his spine. He's like very like decomposing, and the mask looks great. It's all tattered and torn. He's like battle tested Jason in this one. Actually, the first performance we get from the legendary Kane Hodder. There's just a lot to like about this movie. Now, I know the MPAA kind of shredded this one to pieces because we were still under the whole kind of tipper gore, everything's bad, take everything out of movies because kids are going to turn out to be deranged serial killers and all that good stuff, which, I mean, didn't happen, but it was the 80s, man. Like I said, again, for the stupid premise, I think it's a very solid movie. And when they do get to fight, it's actually kind of fun. I think it's really neat to see what a Carrie would do to a Jason Voorhees, because it turns out to be really cool. Now, it's the end of the cool stuff, because, well, next we got Jason Takes a Boat to Manhattan, which is what the damn movie should have been called. Now, for a movie called Jason Takes Manhattan, you would think he would spend a lot more time in there. Not the case, because this movie wastes about a good 50 minutes of your life before he even reaches Manhattan. This was just false advertisement at its best. The kids on the boat, like, going on some kind of school trip or something like that, and Jason somehow gets out of Crystal Lake, goes to the ocean, kind of, somehow, and gets on an ocean liner. It's very, very insane. Like, the kills are kind of funny. I will say, when he finally does get to Manhattan, it actually does kind of pick up for me. I love this scene where, you know, they're blasting this music and he just kicks the shit out of this stereo and the gang members get all pissed off at him and he raises his mask and they all run. Like, stuff like that I'm okay with, but to sit through the 50 minutes to get to that, to me, is not worth it. That's why this movie is going straight to squirrel. It has no reason to exist other than just to get money from people who thought Jason was going to take Manhattan. Now, Jason tried to take Manhattan, and, well, after that, he went to hell. Jason goes to hell the final Friday, which again, it's the second final we've had in here, I think. So, this movie is a straight up mess. I don't even know what the blue hell they were even thinking trying to do this one. Because, like, you start out, we're at Camp Crystal Lake, and Jason's chasing, a beautiful young lady, which I mean, surprise, surprise, right? And all of a sudden, these lights pop on and everything, like so many people with guns, and it's the FBI. And they blow him up. In the first 5 minutes, they blow up Jason. I remember sitting here watching this, and I was like, well, what the fuck do we do now? Like, what do you do? And, well, I found out, unfortunately, and I really wish I wouldn't have asked. Because you get the title credits, and then all of a sudden we go to the coroner's office, and then, like, there's a big black heart that was Jason's heart, then the coroner eats it. So now he's Jason, and then you're explained through some weird Van Helsing type character that Jason's this weird type of evil that only can be killed by this certain dagger that's only carried by a family member. So it's just like second cousin removed or some shit, and it is just a absolute disaster of a film. I don't know if you can make this worse. I will say the ending, though, I will give it that. The ending was cool. You see the hockey mask sitting there in the sand. And then all of a sudden, Freddy's hand pops up and then drags it down to hell. And you hear Freddy laughing. Like, honest to God, if you would have just put the beginning of this, the title credits, and then that scene with Freddy, the rest of the movie, I don't want to see it again. It was a complete dumpster fire. Like, if Jason Goes to Hell starts playing, you actually might be in hell. So keep that in mind. Now, Goes to Hell. You would think that would be it, right? Nope. Not with this franchise. It is none other than Jason X, which is aka Jason Goes to Space. And I love this movie. It is like a D-camp movie, and it knows it is. And we get actually a fantastic performance from Kane Hodder again, man. I loved this version of Jason. It was so much fun. And actually, I will say, for as dumb as the movie as it is, the actual first, 5 minutes of this film, they actually explain why Jason can't die like a normal person. He has, regenerative cells, kind of like Godzilla. That was actually kind of cool to me. And how he ended up in space. He gets cryogenically frozen, and, this team from, Earth 2 or whatever the hell it is comes down, they get him, he thaws out and makes one of the most brilliant damn kills of all time. He puts this girl's face in liquid nitrogen and just blasts it all over the damn counter, and it is fantastic. I love the whole robot thing. I thought that was really silly and funny. The cast of kids, I will say, are pretty bad, but they were supposed to be. I'm pretty sure that they were pretty terrible on purpose. I like the sergeant character. It took everything way too seriously. I think this is just a fun movie. If you can just turn your brain off, not expect to watch something that's gold, this is brilliant. Going on to something else is brilliant. Freddy vs. Jason, man. I spoke about this in the Nightmare tier list, man, so I'm going to keep this kind of short. This movie was everything I wanted at the time. I remember it coming out. I mean, there was speculation for years, like I was saying with Jason Goes to Hell. That was made in the early 90s, and it took, literally, close to 10, 15 years to get done. Don't know exactly why or what took so long, but man, I was so glad we got it. Robert Englund does a fantastic job in this movie, and it was his last big screen appearance as Freddy Krueger, and you can just tell he's having a blast in it, man. And it's so much fun to watch. The fight scenes are so good. I love the little story they had. I mean, there's not much to it, to be honest, but for me, being a fan of these franchises, loved it. I don't have to have, the Godfather or the Deer Hunter of the Freddy and Jason movies. Just give me a fun one, and I'll be happy. Now, speaking of fun, man, this one caught me off guard, man. I really didn't know what was going to go on here, but man, I'm putting this one in hot dogs. It's the remake, man. Platinum Dunes. They killed it on this one. I love the whole aspect of Jason. He's very visceral. He runs. I mean, anytime he makes a kill, you almost feel it. And they had the sack head and the hockey mask. Because basically what they did here was they kind of took 1 through 4 and made it one movie, which I thought was pretty damn brilliant because those are the best ones pretty much anyway. So why not just go ahead and just go for the gold and put all four of them in one movie? And the cast was great here. I thought all the kids that were being lined up for Jason were all very believable, very cool. It was above and beyond what I expect from a Friday the 13th remake, to be honest with you, because I don't think most people are going to do as good of a job as this one. I just don't think so. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but kind of on edge about the Camp Crystal Lake series. I'm not a big fan of prequels and stuff, so don't know how that's going to go, but I doubt it will be as good as this. So there you go, everybody. There's the tier list. So you don't miss Sean's and so you don't miss the tier list discussion, please like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You can follow us on the Frequency 140 Movie channel on Facebook. You can get all of our content for $3 a month by following Patreon/Frequency 140 Podcast, where you can get all three of our channels and every video we've ever done and even a little extra things on the side. As always, I'm going to steal a line from my good buddy Mr. Bennett. Freaks, geeks, nerds, unite. Let's take over the world. Peace.